week for round 6. The Melbourne Phoenix and the Adelaide Thunderbirds have a colourful history. Arch rivals as so many Victorian and South Australian teams are, we expected sparks to fly and enthralling netball to result. Eloise Southby-Helbridge joins me in commentary, and Sam Dennis chatted to Phoenix coach Uli Hornweg before the game to set the scene.
I'm sure you would have hoped, but did you think at the beginning of the round that by round 5 you'd be undefeated and at top of the ladder?
Oh no, it was a bit of a dream, but we thought it might have been a bit tougher when our Australian players were away, but our bench players, or so supposedly bench players, have stepped up and they're playing some super netball. And last week against Swifts to get 10 players out on court and all play really well, that was just a fantastic treat for us anyway.
On the Australian players, you were missing 3 of them, three people to your team. How did that affect the team dynamic?
Well, actually, it was really fantastic because it gave some of the others a chance to lead, and everyone had to pitch in and take some responsibility within the team, and it gave some of the younger ones a moment to shine because normally the older players are around and then perhaps don't get so many opportunities, so it was fantastic for them.
Cheryl McMahon really played an instrumental role to last week's win, 38 out of 40 goals she shot. You must have been really happy with that game.
Oh yes, I thought we were quite dynamic in defence and we really did put a lot of pressure on the Swifts attacking line, and then when we did have the ball I thought we were quite exciting, and the way we played, the ball movement was good and we were very accurate up front, so generally all around a good game.
The Thunderbirds, they're a bit of your voodoo team. You lost to them in the prelim finals last year. How are you going to combat them today? They've got a very fast style of play.
Oh yes, they're extremely fast. It's a very different game plan that they will play that we had last week. We've tweaked a few things, but not too much. We really feel that we need to be able to play 4 quarters of netball like we did last week, and that's the first time in a while that we've put 4 good quarters together. So we're really looking at ourselves at this point in time to make sure that we follow up with our attacking play, our accurate shooting, and defensively putting pressure on. We'll tweak how we do that a little bit, but not too much.
What about Julie? What's next for Julie in the netball world?
For me? Oh, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing this year. You know, it's the last year of Phoenix, so we're making sure that every experience is a really exciting one for us, that we're growing and we're developing, and perhaps that's some of the reason why we're having success. We're really, one of our goals this year was to make sure that we enjoy the last year, because it won't ever happen again.
Well, good luck tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Sam.
Well, Etsa Park in Adelaide is preparing to see the 2 best sides up to this point, round 6 of the COMMBANK Trophy do battle. It's the Melbourne Phoenix with the ball in the purple strip, the dark purple, and the Adelaide Thunderbirds in the lighter strip. The Thunderbirds force the early turnover. Sharon Kelly and Jackie Jashari are the umpires.
Already an early turnover for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Peter Scholes forcing Wendy Jacobson offside. Great turnover for her.
Contact when you defend.
Well, the team for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, it's a familiar lineup. Kristen Hughes, a goal shooter. Natalie Medhurst, Laura Von Berto, Natalie Von Berto. Peter Scholes in her 160th game. Fiona Poynton and Bianca Reddy. First blood to the Thunderbirds. As we look at the Phoenix side, it's Abby Sargent, Sherelle McMahon, Wendy Jacobson, Natasha Chocolate, Renee Hallinan, Joe Curran and Bianca Chatfield. Medhurst looking for Hughes, can't quite stretch far enough to control the ball. Phoenix swiftly down the court. McMahon obviously the key, as she so often is.
She played so well last week against the Sydney Swifts that I'm sure she'll be a target for the Thunderbirds' defence this week.
And McMahon to level the score, she does, but Abby Sargent, Eloise, has passed up 2 opportunities for long-range shots. Is that something, is that a team strategy, do you think, or as a shooter, how do you approach that early in the game?
Well, I think she's just trying to work herself into the game, so generally if you can get an early shorter shot and put it in, you feel comfortable with the momentum of everything.
Just like that. You see her career shooting percentage, 77% in the COMMBANK Trophy, as Eloise Southby-Helbridge nearly gets the first touch of the
I tried to dive on it.
Great pass, found Jacobson. Here's McMahon for a 3-1 lead. Can't get it to go. She only missed twice last week, Sherelle McMahon. She's been in sensational shooting form, as we've come to expect from the Australian captain. Nat Von Berto.
Contact, please. Pass or stop.
Tight one-on-one defence from the Phoenix end.
Scores level. We'll travel 2.5 minutes in the opening quarter at Etzer Park. Zoning off McMahon, forcing her to make the long pass.
And that's what if the Thunderbirds can do, if they can make the Phoenix throw across court doing swings, it's easier for their defenders to take those intercepts. That's what you look for tonight.
McMahon athletically converts. The goals going with the centre pass. 3 goals to 2. Phoenix leading early. Bomberto caught on the hop. Found her sister. Medhurst in great position. Chatfield, did she get a hand on that? Might have, at the very least, she disrupted Medhurst's shot.
On the goal attack. Pass or shot? Yes.
Hughes converts, but we'll have a look at the replay. Bianca Chatfield on Medhurst's shot. She's poised. Didn't quite get a finger on it, but certainly distracted Medhurst. And forced turnover, not quite from McMahon. She's hopping about, didn't like the obstruction call.
Well, Peter Scholes took a nice intercept just before that play, and he's now going to steady it down, ready just to make sure they get down to their attack end.
Been a measured start to this game, Eloise.
It has. Well, both of them are flying down the court. If you can see, the pace of the game is very fast as McMahon tries to not go offside, trying to intercept that ball.
Umpire Sharon Kelly, though, right on the spot, as there's a turnover, not quite. Thunderbirds still with control, but Joe Curran, great interception. Jacobson. Sargent's a long way from home. Forced to patiently build up around the circle. Abby Sargent with the free shot. From long range, not quite. Natasha Chocolate just barreling through Peter Scholes, but up she bounces. 160 games tonight for Peter Scholes.
It's a phenomenal effort. She's been around since the inception of the competition. Played for Australia.
Second of all time. Liz Ellis is the only player to have played more. Sherelle McMahon only 1 game behind her, I think.
Great pressure there by the Phoenix defence. Bianca Chatfield was calling Joe Curran, base, base, and she actually read that ball well.
We'll have a look at that near interception. Chocolate and Bomberto with a stretch.
And I reckon it would have gone the other way, really. Came off a double tap. Umpires often miss those ones. They're not in the right position. Hard to tell, though, for an umpire.
Step against Jacobson.
Great hands over pressure from Scholes. It's a great contest, Jacobson on Scholes. It's going to be the one that wins the battle. Probably the team will win.
Medhurst. Curran with the support from Bianca Chatfield, and unlucky Joe Curran.
With a bit of a silly pass, probably from Chatfield.
They're halfway in goal attack.
And
come in a bit more.
We'll see the replay in a second. Kristen Hughes, the penalty is advanced into the circle because Joe Curran warned for delaying the game. She grabbed the ball. We'll see the replay.
Chocolate was actually that passed it,
turnover.
But a turnover clearly. She was defended in that position.
Yes.
Swift passing once again.
Laura Bomberto is hitting the top of that circle every time for the Thunderbirds. That's a key to their play. She's doing it well so far.
Thunderbirds have scored the last 3 and they hit the lead by 2. Man, forced into a difficult position, but the pass was right on the money.
She's got about a 60-centimetre vertical leap.
We'll see it on replay. She'll have to use every inch of that vertical leap, always.
She's a freak.
Hughes restores the 2-goal buffer in favour of the Thunderbirds.
Since Hughes has come back from England with the Australian team, she certainly is shooting well, and she started well tonight with 4 from 4.
McMahon looking good. She had an early miss, but she's made every shot since then as Bomberto under pressure. Almost the interception from Curran. Severe contact on Nat Von Berto, and we'll see that on replay as the collision was imminent.
Yeah, she was pushing with her body then. I think she was hoping the umpire would turn her back.
But no injuries to either player, which is good. And Krista Hughes. Thunderbirds with a 2-goal advantage. 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter at Etzer Park. As expected, it's been a tense, tight opening few minutes of this top-of-the-table clash between the unbeaten Phoenix and the second-placed Adelaide Thunderbirds, who haven't lost at home this season. And almost a turnover. Sherelle McMahon infringed. She does mop the floor.
Medhurst is being allowed by the Phoenix defence to come outside and take those easy balls.
They're intimidating this shot. And some uncharacteristic misses from Natalie Medhurst early, Eloise, and Kristen Hughes was just all air on that last attempt. Phoenix defenders doing everything they can to disrupt the Thunderbirds, but Abby Sargent can't convert their good work. That goal would have drawn the Phoenix level. They still trail by 1.
Great speed by the Thunderbirds. Oh, smart play by Medhurst. Once the defence had cleared off her, she flicked it back out to her attackers and retook the pass a bit closer in.
There's Coach Julie Hornweg of the Melbourne Phoenix. Looking very relaxed in the early stages. Her side trailing by 2.
Well, you can't win the game at the start of the match, so she's probably best not to get too excited.
Is she relaxed as a coach?
Yeah, she is. She's pretty relaxed and...
8-7, Thunderbirds leading. Hughes made good position.
Goal defence, obstruction. Yes.
Well, Kristen Hughes is making great position under the post, and there again, just the 1-2 working with Nat Von Berto on the edge of the circle.
The quick hands of the Thunderbirds actually draw the penalties on the Phoenix defence, so it's something that, yeah, they're certainly working on tonight.
Driving down court quickly, but held up.
What a great contest this one is. It's the two centres, both Australian players. Obviously, Natalie Von Berto on the court in the starting 7 for Australia, and Natasha Chocolate on the bench, but trying desperately to get on. So this is what she has to do tonight, try and beat Natalie. So it's going to be one to watch.
And the Thunderbirds move out to a 3-goal advantage. Contact against Nat Medhurst. She looks a bit frustrated with the decision.
I think she was frustrated in herself because she knew she shouldn't have gone in there when Joe Curran had position, so...
Great take from Jacobson. I have to retreat a long way. 1-on-1 all over the court.
Great defensive effort from Natalie Von Berto then, just to get her hand in without contacting. So it's just a throw in for the Phoenix. Well done, Natalie.
So the Thunderbirds do look like they're lining up 1-on-1. Is that what you would have expected from the start, Eloise?
Well, they're both great 1-on-1 defensive teams, but interesting enough, Julie Hornweg, because she's coached Fiji and England, they have often done a float, and she's taught that to the Phoenix team. So it'll be interesting, you know, how this quarter pans out, whether she'll throw that defensive structure on at some point in the match to try and get a few turnovers.
At the moment, it's 5 turnovers each, both sides being relatively clean with the ball. And what's been a high-pressure opening, McMahon. You talk about the quick hands of the Thunderbirds, but Sherelle McMahon, Wendy Jacobson and Natasha Chocolate just working overtime there and giving themselves some great position. Margin back to 1. Chatfield.
It's a great tip. You can see Natasha, I'm calling her Natasha Chocolate. Chatfield comes out with a great little tip there. Oh, Curran and Chatfield once again just cheering her teammate on.
11-9, Thunderbirds lead it by 2. 2.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter at Etzer Park. With Chocolate driving, looking for Sargent, couldn't find her.
Great give and goes by the attackers, Chocolate and Jacobson, to work the ball on top of the circle until the goalers open up.
McMahon has an opportunity now, converts. Margin back to 1. Alberto desperately trying to reel it in. Turnover though. Chatfield with a little yell, and once again.
Defense.
And smart play from Kristen Hughes.
Well, Kristen Hughes, as soon as she realised that Medhurst had that ball, she bolted to the ring. You can see Medhurst flicks it over to her teammate under the post in great position for an easy shot.
And letting it bounce, she was able to balance herself as there's Tanya Robst, the coach of the Adelaide Thunderbirds. She's wearing a black armband tonight, unfortunately. Von Williams, the wife of the great Foss Williams and the mother of Mark and Stephen Williams, the legends of the Port Adelaide Football Club, died yesterday at 83 years of age. So our condolences to the Williams family. And I think also the whole Port Adelaide Football Club, really. Scores are level. The Phoenix with the last 2, and they have the centre pass. Against Peter Scholes. Sargent with a long bomb. Don't get it to go. Abby Sargent only at 50%, 3 for 6 in the first quarter.
Yes.
Both sides shooting at 75%. It's Curran. Fantastic interception.
She read the play early and came out for that long ball. Oh, brilliant hands by Jacobson. Finds McMahon under the post.
And when Todd Miller, our South Australian statistician's nodding his head, you know it's good play, Eloise. Only 9 seconds remaining in the quarter. Hughes working beautifully to draw. Scores level at quarter time. We'll wait for the final whistle, and there it is. So it's entertaining opening quarter, as tight as we expected it would be. The Adelaide Thunderbirds and the Melbourne Phoenix are locked at 13 goals apiece. Second quarter underway. Natasha Chocolate finds Sherelle McMahon. Sargent looking to advance it. Scholes with those long arms, knocking it away from Jacobson.
It was a great leap, so she didn't even go offside then.
Goalkeeper, contact.
Contact against Bianca Reddy. Sherelle McMahon with the free shot or pass. Into Sargent, just rolls it in.
I think
Few
she was
nervous
blowing
moments.
that. Well, that was tough for Laura Von Berto not to get a free pass then. A bit of contact by the Melbourne Phoenix attackers.
Well, she's in the middle of a Phoenix sandwich. And Joe Curran only narrowly missing the interception, just like Chatfield. They might have been out of play a few times, Eloise, the Phoenix defenders, but they seem to be anticipating a lot of the moves.
They were, and they were taking the intercepts, and that was what Tanya Rops was talking about at quarter time, that her goalers aren't coming around and getting in front and getting in good position. They're sort of hovering behind because the defenders were sort of playing a little bit split circle-ish.
And Abby Sargent, the former England international from long range, improving that shooting percentage up from 63% slightly. She's had an indifferent start.
Brilliant pay from Laura Von Berto to get the top of the circle and then find Medhurst under the post.
McMahon once again easily reeling in the centre pass and breaking for the basket.
And that's what the Thunderbirds have to watch.
It's in the replay, Eloise, so quick.
Well, it's the old give and go, and certainly McMahon has the speed to beat anyone. When she knows it's on, she'll put that speed on, and it's so hard to defend.
She's up court again, finds Chocolate. Sargent having to pass around Scholes once again. 5 goals the Phoenix lead. 4 minutes remaining until half-time. Kristen Hughes caught behind Chatfield. Medhurst having to run from one side of the circle to the other, and another great opportunity for the Phoenix. As Medhurst, advantage was called against the contact, but Hallinan looked rattled and turned the ball over.
Jackie Jasari knew she made a bad call the one before, so she's just given it back. That's what she's done. So fair enough, actually. I know it's bad, but she knew she made a bad call on the advantage. She thought, oh, well, we're going to play it on here.
Vantage obstruction wing, vantage contact wing.
4 goals is once again the margin, as Scholes fighting with Jacobson. Jacobson has not had anything easy, has she?
Well, that was a silly ball. Whoever put that to her, to put a high ball up where anywhere Scholes is just a stupid move, because that is her bread and butter.
So quick, so athletic. As we said earlier, 160 games, 2 kids, still going strong, still one of the best players in the competition.
Just a legend of the game, really.
Full stop.
Yeah, full stop. I can't say any more. Great player. Right her up there with Simone McInnes, who was probably one of the best defenders wing defenders in netball in the world, and I'd rate her as highly.
Contact, pass or shot.
Simone McInnes now coaching the Canberra Darters. Abby Sargent converting back to 5. 67% is Abby Sargent's conversion rate, which has improved since quarter time.
Split circle from the Phoenix defenders causes the turnover.
And I was exclaiming because Natalie Bomberto was bowled over by Chocolate, but no contact or penalty was called, so play on. Maybe that's the rough stop you're looking for, as McMahon again.
That change of direction under that ring was amazing. She just put the brakes on, stopped, opened up. Ball came in.
Phoenix on a 5-goal-to-1 run. Just establishing some form of superiority in a very close game.
Nice screen, but McMahon couldn't get it over the top to Sargent, so she just popped out.
Contacting attack.
Minute and a half until half-time. This last few minutes must be concerning Tanya Obst of the Thunderbirds, Eloise. So much better play that time.
Was unlucky then that Joe Curran she read the ball well but missed it.
And they've forced another turnover here, another silly pass deep into the corner, too far for Jacobson, perhaps wary of Scholes' influence. With Bianca ready.
Hold fine. Pass or shot. If it delays, then throw the ball. Yes?
Well, the double penalty against Bianca Reddy there.
Side. Good pass. Where you are, shooter?
Throwing the ball away in the last play as Bomberto did so well,
Contact, goal attack, center
but unfortunately couldn't keep the ball for her side. Phoenix with another opportunity to extend this 6-goal lead. We'll see Bomberto just dancing the very fine line. They couldn't get it back to Reddy.
She did very well, just to do little twinkle toes along the edge.
Centre pass to the Thunderbirds. They trail by 7, very close to half-time.
That was much better direct play from the Thunderbirds. Took 2 passes and it was into their goals.
Well, Hughes needed that to go. Not enough time for the Phoenix to drive down court. So we are at half-time in Etzer Park. And the home side, the Thunderbirds, are under pressure. The Melbourne Phoenix lead it 30 goals to 23. Well, the Adelaide Thunderbirds were just waiting for them to return. A little bit slow. That's a little bit of gamesmanship from Tanya Obst and her charges.
They're going to get called for a delay here, for sure.
The third quarter underway. Adelaide Thunderbirds trailing the Melbourne Phoenix by 7. And the Thunderbirds perhaps under a little bit of pressure. Tanya Rock's their coach, just keeping them a little bit long at half-time as we see the change for the Melbourne Phoenix. Ingrid Dick into centre. Natasha Chocolate at wing attack. Wendy Jacobson has a seat on the bench. Interesting move there, Eloise. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, Ingrid Dick comes with a lot of experience, 5-time premiership player. Only her and Sherelle McMahon are the two that have been there since the inception of the competition. Brings experience and fresh legs on an Australian centre, so good move by the Phoenix.
And a great start from the Phoenix. They've scored the first 3 goals in this second half to get the margin to 10. Keep going further and further in front as Curran almost with the interception. They're under a lot of pressure, the Thunderbirds. And another example of it.
Great switching by the 2 circle defenders for the Phoenix. They were swapping players whenever someone came to their area and it forced the whole ball.
That is intimidation. No, possession, shooter. Possession, shooter.
Possession to the shooter, Eloise. Sargent with a chance.
Great tap in by McMahon. Wasn't in position for the rebound to take it cleanly, so just flicked her hand round and passed it on to Chocolate, who doesn't often play at wing attack, may I say, but has done a lot with Australia over the years.
Advantage obstruction way.
Hallinan presents for Dick. Now Curran. Phoenix have scored the last 5, including all 4 goals in this quarter. But Reddy says, we're going to have to do something about that. Step up at the defensive end.
Great drive by Scholes down the midcourt to get that speed going for the Thunderbirds. And a traditional roll from Hughes. She loves it.
Finally gets the Thunderbirds on the scoreboard in the second half. Is Sargent. Chocolate just reeling it in. Calls against Scholes. And an excellent lob pass into Sargent. She doesn't let Ingrid Dick down. 5.5 minutes until 3/4 time, and the Thunderbirds are staring down the barrel. They've talked up their side during the week, but the pressure went on with about 5 minutes to go until half-time, and the Phoenix hasn't relented. Oh, and that Medhurst, was she trying to draw the fake? And
well, she was, but Curran read it beautifully and waited and timed her jump, and it was held ball. So just put it straight up, Medhurst, because she shoots beautifully.
Issue of confidence there, perhaps, Eloise, or just trying to be a bit too clever?
No, I think you try and get yourself into a bit of a rhythm, and she often does balk that ball, but sometimes I just don't think she needs it. It's easy for me to sit here and say that, because I can assure you when I was playing, so many people said, Eloise, why are you balking? And Liz Ellis was rejecting me, or Reddy was rejecting me or something, so...
The Phoenix with 18 more shot attempts in the game. Phenomenal advantage. And I think that says a lot about the 15-point margin.
It does, and Medhurst then did balk the ball again, funnily enough, but the timing on the second part of the movement was a lot quicker. The Thunderbirds have tried to really force them into a quite close proximity, which is unusual for the Phoenix. They like to open it up and flow it down the court.
The Phoenix have scored the last 5, and the margin is out to 20.
Centre, centre, third obstruction, centre, centre, step back. Yep.
Medhurst converts.
Nice easy play there by the Thunderbirds to work it round and find one of their goals under the post.
Here's Sargent again, finds McMahon in great position. Oh, once again, Sherelle McMahon, she's gone a little bit cold in this quarter. She's missed 4 attempts. Now Medhurst to get the margin. Back under 20, and the offload to Hughes, able to convert. Well, the Thunderbirds with a mini run, but the margin is still 18. They'd be comforted by the fact, I think, that the Phoenix put this kind of a margin on them very quickly and without seemingly doing anything too dramatic. So they chip away.
They're playing a bit of offline defence in the attack end this third, and I think that's worked quite well for them.
Sargent into McMahon.
Settled on that one, took a big deep breath before she shot it, having missed her last one from a similar position.
Hughes connects. Well, the Thunderbirds seem to be getting their rhythm and flow back. And Peter Scholes with the interception. Big play right before three-quarter time. Important to convert here for the Thunderbirds. Hughes needs to find position. Medhurst did well. Shot away. Well, a nice little burst to finish the third quarter from the Thunderbirds. They scored 4 of the last 5 goals, but the damage had been done earlier in the quarter, and the Melbourne Phoenix lead it comfortably at three-quarter time, 49-33. Set for a start in the final quarter at Etzer Park. Brilliant third quarter from the Melbourne Phoenix, sees them with a 16-goal lead.
And don't they say it's the premiership quarter, the third quarter?
They certainly do. The undefeated Melbourne Phoenix looking to extend that run to 6 matches. Plenty of changes for both teams. The Von Berto sisters switching places. Fiona pointed back to goalkeeper, and Georgia Beaton, who made her debut last week, is in at goal defence. Well, for the Melbourne Phoenix, Sarah Ashmore into goal attack. Sherelle McMahon swaps the goal shooter, and Abby Sargent will sit out the last quarter. So Sarah Ashmore found her way clear as she just slipped a little bit on the floor. The 20-year-old in her 17th game in the National League.
Played for the Darters last year, pretty much in the mid-court only. So to come back and play shooter for the Phoenix, she's had to get back to practicing. As a goalie, you've got to do that much more training. You've got to come in early.
Well, she made her debut for the Phoenix in an absolute cauldron on Anzac Day in round 1. She scores a level at three-quarter time, Eloise, against the Phoenix and the Kestrels, and she was put into the game in the last quarter.
She was, when it was a pretty tough contest. It was equal at into that last quarter, and she came on, played really smart and well with McMahon. So obviously, Julie Hallmark has the confidence to put her on now and finish off the job that they've done so far. Great movement by Medhurst there to dodge, pretty much do a front cut in front of Curran and take that ball really nicely.
Nat Medhurst's 20th goal. From 24 attempts, continuing shooting at that very high percentage. Sherelle McMahon, conversely, is up to her 30th goal. And a long pass from Medhurst. Fantastic vision, found Hughes. And all sorts of milestones for the goalers in this game. Kristen Hughes has notched up her 2,600th goal in the National League. Nat Medhurst, her 1,300th goal in the National League. And Sherelle McMahon only a couple away from her 4,600th goal in the National League. Sherelle McMahon at number 2 all time. She's up to 31, so she's got 5 to go to reach that milestone. Only Catherine Cox has got there before her. As Hughes, great forward pressure. And now she'll be free in the goal circle because Bianca Chatfield out of play. But Jo Curran did well, and almost a turnover to the Phoenix.
Jo Curran didn't even have her eyes on the ball then. If she had have had them up and watching what Ingrid Dick had got the tip on the ball, she would have picked it up.
Danny's offside. Goalkeeper.
Bianca getting caught, Bianca Chatfield getting caught from behind for the Phoenix, so opens it up nicely for the Thunderbirds. They should score off this.
Danny's break wing.
Bullet pass from McMahon into Ashmore. Held ball.
She's pretty quick held.
Well,
maybe a rookie call.
Yeah, she stepped in. It was actually good defence from Georgie.
Great pass. Oh, but intercepted.
I think that was an accidental intercept because they didn't know what was going on, and suddenly the ball was in their hand.
Oh, but what a pass. And Ashmore, she was falling out of play, had the presence of mind to flick it back, showing maturity beyond her 20 years. McMahon converts. But
Goal defence, Cole. Goal third. Yes. It's a goal defence.
the margin's still at 16, which is the same as what it was at three-quarter time. Scores were level at quarter time. The Phoenix led by 7 at half-time, 16 at three-quarter time, and it's still 16. Still 17 goals the margin. The It's a Park crowd have been a little bit quiet in this second half. The margin, the result, I should say, has been pretty much without doubt since halfway through the third quarter. Melbourne Phoenix, a powerful display. Even Natalie Von Berto making an error.
Their defensive unit of Curran and Chatfield have played very well, often got a lot of held balls. The Thunderbirds attack end.
Hughes working closer to the goal. Makes it count.
Under great pressure there, she put that shot in, so well done to Kristen Hughes.
Danny construction. Danny's offside. Contact centre, advantage offside.
Hughes working closer to goal. Once more.
Obstruction, goalkeeper.
Curran obstructing. And rattles one home. 47 goals for the Thunderbirds. That's equal to their season low, which they scored against the Sydney Swifts back in round 1. They might have an opportunity to just surpass that narrowly with 20 seconds to go. Need to move it quickly.
They know that the time's nearly up.
Good work from Medhurst. Finishes the game with a success. But it's been all the Melbourne Phoenix. From quarter time when scores were level, they have exploded away, and a sensational victory to the Melbourne Phoenix in Adelaide by 14 goals. The Phoenix 62, the Adelaide Thunderbirds 48.
We've had a great win tonight. I think we'll have to have a little bit of a look at how we finished the game. I was pretty happy with everything else, but just seemed to lack some concentration perhaps in the last few minutes. But overall, it was just a great performance, and against a side like the Thunderbirds, we're very happy. Wouldn't have to be a rocket scientist to say that we played pretty poorly, but I mean, we just sort of, from the start of the game, we sort of struggled a bit, and especially during the second and third quarter, they came out very strong and put on some excellent defensive pressure. So, yeah, we're very disappointed with that performance.
Well, a real show of strength there from the Melbourne Phoenix. They outplayed the Thunderbirds in every facet of the game and sent the parochial fans home disappointed. With the results for round 6 locked in, we can look at the ladder and see that the two Melbourne teams are showing the way. The Phoenix continue their unbeaten streak for the first 6 weeks, and the Kestrels improve their record to 4-2. The Swifts and Thunderbirds round out the top 4, the Thunderbirds just ahead of the Firebirds and Jaegers on percentage. The Darters and Orioles continue to bring up the rear. Well, that completes our coverage of round 6 of the netball, so now we can look ahead to more sport on ABC TV. Later today, ABC2 Digital, the Pacific Six Nations rugby tournament continues, with Australia A shaping up against Samoa. Then next week for the netball, we'll be in Sydney to see the Swifts seek revenge against the Melbourne Kestrels, who 3 weeks ago snapped the Swifts' 18-match winning streak. Tune into our coverage at 8 o'clock next Friday on ABC2 Digital. Thanks for your company. We look forward to bringing you more action from the Commonwealth Bank Trophy next week.